Look, Lincoln Riley is a heck of a football coach, man. I mean, one of the best football coaches in the country. Gets off to a hot start when he goes to USC. Last year, his desire to stick with Alex Grinch at defensive coordinator for the past couple seasons, I think, surprised a lot of us. Blaine and I thought there's no way USC is going to be as bad on defense as they were the previous year, and the wheels completely fell off the bus there. What's the future going to look like for Lincoln Riley and USC?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I was in the same boat as y'all. Like, they went to the portal and got way better personnel-wise, but the defense was just, horrific. So I think that the encouraging thing to me is they've made some changes, whether it was willfully or against their will, on that staff with Dan Lynn and Eric Henderson. My big thing is there has to be a philosophy change, because I think the personnel was good enough to do much better than they did last season. They got some of those key guys back in Bear Alexander, but we watched USC last year, and it wasn't like they were just getting out-schemed. It was like you got guys one-on-one missing tackles, or were not being able to hold our assignment in man coverage. And so to me, that's like a what are you doing behind closed doors kind of thing. Like, why are your guys missing tackles one-on-one? Okay, we're not probably tackling enough in practice, or we're not repping the right things in practice to be able to be set up for success. So I think it's that paired with the philosophy of, we all understand this, there's a lot to do in LA, especially if you're a college kid and you get some NIL dollars, you get some money. There's a lot of things at your fingertips. And I think in a city like that, it is ultra important to have a culture where you have your locker room locked into, okay, I'm playing USC football. I'm not here to do Los Angeles. And I think from what I understand from some people that are close to that operation, they've kind of said as much, like, hey, we had guys that weren't totally all in on what we're doing here at USC. They wanted to go do Los Angeles. They wanted to do Hollywood. And so, you can't serve two masters, especially when you're playing Division I college football on national TV every week. So for Lincoln Riley, this staff changed offensively. If they can change philosophies, they have some personnel to be more successful. Now, how successful is that? We're going to see, because you lose the Heisman Trophy winner, and you went 7-5 with him in a lesser conference last year. So the future for me this year, if you can go 8-4 with that schedule, I think you marked it up to not success, but maybe an encouraging landmark to move forward with. And, we'll see where we are in a couple of years if you can get the right defensive lineman there.
Yeah. Well, this was my one question. When USC did hire Lincoln Riley, that's why when there was the Lincoln Riley to LSU rumors, to me, that was the better fit, because that dog, that identity of just getting after someone's ass is built into LSU. I know they were bad on defense last year, right? But most of all, that attitude is there. If it's not going to work, because he had the same problem at Oklahoma. This is basically the exact same problem, pretty much worse, right, than when he started at Oklahoma. You were really good on offense, you had incredible quarterbacks, but you were softer than Charmin Ultra on defense, and it looked like guys quit and didn't want to be physical, right? So you think going from Norman, Oklahoma, in a place where there's nothing to do but eat fried cheese and play football, which is great. I'm from a small college football town too, where you can really narrow their focus. But then you're going to go to LA and somehow become a bunch of tough asses. I'm with JD. It's got to be philosophy and identity. That starts with the head coach. If you watch the way that Dan Lanning's guys play from a physicality standpoint, as opposed to Lincoln, she's got Lincoln Riley's like, all right, guys, listen, this afternoon, I just want to make sure everybody's just friends with everybody. We've got a meeting about the Library of Congress at 3, and then we're going to go out and not tackle for 6 hours. At some point, somebody's got to start biting through helmets and headbutting lockers. When does that transformation happen? I just feel like Lincoln's soft. I'm sorry. That's what it feels like to me.
You encourage what you allow, right? If you're allowing guys to be, and I don't know what's going on behind closed doors there, but based on what's happening on Saturdays, if you're not going to be hard during the week during practice and you're going to trot out there on Saturdays and do what you do, I'm with you. It's got to be a total philosophy change. And I think Oregon's a great example, because last couple of seasons, or I'll rephrase that, previous eras under Mark Helfrich and Chip Kelly, we talked about Oregon being really flashy, the uniforms, kind of similar to how we're talking about USC being all flash and no substance. That was Oregon a couple of seasons ago before Dan Lanning got there and did this total rebrand. And we've seen in college football too, if you want to be a successful head coach, got to be able to adapt. Why was Saban over the course of the last, decade plus? Because he was adapting his philosophy, adapting his offense, adapting his personnel defensively. And Lincoln Riley just has pretty much stayed the same throughout the course of his head coaching career. And that's why we're seeing USC be just abysmal defensively rather, pretty much since he's been there.
Blaine, it's the interview. Same, but different. But still same. Still same. Hello, everyone on YouTube. If you're watching this, you've been selected for a very important mission. One that if you choose to accept, could lead to awesome things for you. Hit the subscribe button to find out more.